Do you remember the day you found out there was no Santa Claus? I was 7 years old and standing in my mother's study watching my beautiful Aunt Mary get ready. As Mary carefully applied her makeup, I pulled out the drawers of my mother's desk, exploring. Suddenly, I saw a packet of teeth. "Are these my teeth?" I asked. I knew the answer, but I wanted to be sure. Mary slowly nodded. "Then that means there's no tooth fairy," I said. "And if there's no tooth fairy, then there's no Easter bunny. And if there's no Easter bunny, then there's no Santa Claus. And if there's no Santa Claus, well, what about him?" I pointed up to the ceiling. Well, that got me pulled into a 2-hour theological lecture by my father, but suffice to say, my kid mind had been blown. Since it was only summer, I had 6 more months to worry about the ramifications of the absence of Santa Claus. I fretted about it almost every day, until one day there was something else to worry about. My grandmother had been diagnosed with advanced stages of cancer. My grandmother was the glue of our family. Every holiday, every gathering, she made sure we all came together and that each person there felt loved and important. For us, she set the standard of what family should be. But this Christmas was different. This Christmas, we couldn't stay at Grandma's since the presence of 2 active kids was too much with the aggressive chemo. So instead, we bunked at my Aunt Mary's nearby condo. The night of Christmas Eve, my 4-year-old sister Laura and I settled into the pull-out couch in the living room. Laura turned to me, tears streaming down her face. "This Christmas isn't the same," she said. "I miss Grandma, and Santa will never find us." I rubbed her back, trying to comfort her, and waited until she fell asleep. Then I sprang into action. I carefully disentangled myself from the pull-out couch and presented myself to my parents. "Tonight, I will be Santa," I said. Together, we carried the gifts from the car up 2 flights of steps and nestled them beneath the Christmas tree. The next morning, Laura was over the moon. As she unwrapped her twin Cabbage Patch dolls, she marveled that Santa had indeed found us and somehow knew exactly what she wanted. It was our last Christmas with my grandmother, but it was the first time I understood why the holidays are so important. It's all about family. This past year, a few days before Christmas, I got a call from my mother. Conflict had broken out in South Sudan, and all the aid workers, including my sister Laura, were being emergency evacuated. The problem? Nobody knew where Laura was. For days we called the embassy, the State Department, tracking her steps as best we could. Finally, we got another call. Laura had made it out of Sudan and was now safely in Nairobi. The phone connection was spotty, but we could hear her say again and again, "I just want to be home. Please bring me home." 2 days later, our prayers were answered, and Laura emerged from the International Arrivals Gate at Dulles Airport, just in time for Christmas. It was a wonderful celebration. We sat around eating and drinking way too much, sharing our favorite stories of holidays long ago. On Christmas Eve, when everyone else had gone to bed, I snuck back downstairs and placed my sister's present beneath the tree. I signed it XOXO Santa. My sister chose to return to South Sudan. There is incredibly tough work to be done and many people in need of assistance. I'm proud of her for her decision, but I worry just the same. When we dropped her off at the airport for her return flight, I hugged her tightly. Although 30 years had passed since that pull-out couch at Aunt Mary's, she was still my baby sister. I promised that no matter what happens, no matter where life may take us or what the future may hold, I will always be here to bring her home. And I will always be here to celebrate Christmas. I think Grandma would have liked that.